Tashi Dalek. My name is Sewan Namgyal. I serve as the chair of the advisory board of Reimagining Doogling. Doogling is the name of the largest Tibetan refugee settlement in South India, of around 16,000 residents. Doogling was founded in 1966, but the real history goes back to the world's oldest university, the Nalanda University in India. Doogling is the home of two of the three largest Tibetan universities, Ganden and Dribble. The curriculum, the teachings, the texts are based from the ancient Nalanda masters. Why is Doogling important? It is important because it has deep insights on how to train our mind to become more present and more caring. Depletion of groundwater poses an existential threat to Doogling. This is a crisis faced in many parts of India and the world. Tibetan Harvest is a powerful story how to apply the insights of compassion to help mitigate this threat. This is a story of grassroots, bottoms-up effort, innovation, will, resilience, partnership, understanding of interdependence, all driven by compassion. Post the premiere, which is around 30 minutes, we'll invite you to an exclusive conversation with the award-winning film director, Jazraj Pandey, the star of this documentary, Tenzin Thakur, and it'll be moderated by RDD's advisory board member, Nav Garoda. At the end of the documentary, there'll be instructions how to listen into this exclusive conversation. Enjoy the show.
अच्छा, यहाँ पे पानी का कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता है क्या?
नहीं, वो धूप टाइम में तो होता है, लेकिन अभी नहीं। अभी बारिश टाइम में ना पानी आता है वापस। 2 दिन में एक बार छोड़ते हैं, तो कभी कभी 1 घंटा भी छोड़ता, कभी कभी 2 घंटा भी छोड़ता है, तो कभी कभी 10 मिनट भी छोड़ के बंद कर देता है।
Kator para hanjun.
name is Tenzin Thakpo and I'm a Doguling resident. Doguling is a Tibetan community, Tibetan settlement in India. Doguling used to be like once of complete dense forest. That time, Karnataka Chief Minister Nija Lingappa, he supported saying that I will give land for the Tibetan people. And there we try to make a settlement out of it.
다 디베 담베 강제다 죽주 담베로 마도 나도 나고 봐도 저거는 뭐지 벌을 쉬우되지 나도 버나 벌사단 로사 싱 말와라 다 저거는 뭐지 자갈 폐샤트 되는 거 고아라는데 나도 봐 람사 죽주 담베로 나도 마 버래 다 디다 나도 전에 버네 마 버도 담베 가리제여르나 속소 싱가다베기 락자여라 디도 싸올베 Tala de is a retombo the Mudinella Tem. Mazo that Tona logic and the Kaji Perje. Then I Java Moche, then Jagaji, Petam, Joala Nerusi, make it out some bush word. Did you? That go a chick shoot, a cook and the Muslim like the Yama Kajab and Mazo, Dawakaja in the Ya lawyer Majuna logic, net a lawyer young lala. Yellow lawyer get a man, man, did Mizikuna de some Lokanayama. Ya lawyer could have some lawyer. That Mrs. Samlo Madang in that not to that not low tube doing it, burning my poem. That not low dunju live, that low cathedral like Jagal.
Tibetan culture actually is an Indian culture, not a Tibetan itself. Our culture is based on the Nalanda tradition, Nalanda University in the Bihar. You can see, the Tibetan religion. What we are learning is essentially Indian culture. For many people, if you apply for the Indian citizenship, we are bound to get it. But still, all of us, we are in India. We are still in the refugee status. Every 5 years, we have to get a residential permit and renew it. We still have this feeling that one day we are going back to Tibet.
उस टाइम का जो हमारा बुजुर्ग लोग है, I think they have made a right decision to come in India. और इंडिया आने के बाद 60 साल बीत चुका है और हम लोग को टिबेटन डांस अभी दिखने को मिल रहा है एंड अगर हम लोग यहाँ नहीं आके कोई और जगह हम लोग ने अगर एस्टेब्लिशमेंट किया होता तो जो है अभी हमारा कल्चर अभी पकड़ के रख पाया है उतना मेरे ख्याल से कर नहीं पाएगा.
Water is one of the most important elements that exist on this planet. Astronomers are searching for the water in other planets, but it appears like the dwellers of this planet don't care much of the water. This is an irony.
Right now in this community, water is not that critical actually, right now, in the sense for us, for my life, let us say for my life. I may live just 5 years, 10 years. For that much duration, water is not critical. We have the water, the same thing. But we have to think for the future, for the other generation, We cannot see it right now, the impending disaster, impending danger, we cannot see it right now. But if you scientifically, if you see that, in the near future, it is going to happen.
I remember early on, there were 2 bore wells that were providing water for all the monks, and everyone was extremely careful. There was one old monk who went around turning on the faucet to fill the tanks in each of the different houses. He was the keeper of the water. In the late 80s, as more and more monks came from Tibet and began to consume water, more and more people were drilling bore wells. However, these bore wells were being dug very close together. You would have one house here and one house here, a wall between them, one bore well here and one bore well right on the other side of the wall. That was the way it was initially done, and in very little time, these bore wells started to dry up. As precious as what we have here is, if we don't have water, we're in trouble.
Duguling do not have proper dam or reservoir. Duguling depend only on groundwater through borewell drilling. Many people are withdrawing water from the ground, right? For instance, this is a groundwater. People taking water from the borewell and using it for other purposes like domestic and cleaning purposes. But they do not think about recharging that borewell. When we take out so much water and not recharging it, that borewell might run dry someday.
More than 1/4 of India's people are now dealing with drought conditions, and in Karnataka alone, 137 taluks have been declared drought hit.
Just 70 kilometers from Bengaluru, Harogere village in Tumkur district has become one of the 162 taluks in Karnataka to be declared drought hit. The groundwater levels have drastically reduced. Borewells have to be dug till 1,000 feet to get an inch of water.
Water is a substance and element. If we have a shortage of water, and it becomes a huge problem, and if we have excessive water, then it becomes a big problem, huge problem.
Much of Karnataka is underwater. Over 40,000 people have been evacuated, and over 16,000 people are in relief camps.
A total of over 30 people have died due to floods in the state so far. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had also conducted an aerial survey yesterday of the worst affected, promising compensation to the farmers.
So first of all, Duguling land is not so porous according to the studies. And adding to that, due to the rapid development here in Duguling, most of the roads are concrete like this. The waters here are not seeping to the ground. They're not recharging. Instead, what it's doing is that it results in flooding.
फर्स्टली जब हमारा माँ पिताजी होने समय एक बार हमारा पूरा खेती एक ये पेटी का है, राइस का है। उसके बाद मौसम के हिसाब से बारिश कम होने की वजह से धीरे धीरे कपास यानी कि कॉटन में आया। फर्स्टली कॉटन में आने के बाद फिर भी बारिश कम होने की वजह से आजकल मेट्स यानी कि गुंजला।
अभी ये जो गुंजल में पानी जा रहा है ना, तो गुंजल को अभी देखो माटी है कि नहीं, पूरा पानी से ये साल में है ना, पानी से पूरा जमीन का ताकत पूरा चला गया, गुंजल का चला गया। गुंजल बिल्कुल नहीं आता अभी, ऐसा ये एक्शन है, सिर्फ अंदर पूरा खाली है, नहीं आएगा, ताकत नहीं आएगा।
मेट्स गुंजाला देखो ये वाइट वाला है ना, ज़्यादा पानी की वजह से, बारिश की वजह से ऊपर से नीचे पास हो रहा है। अभी ये गुंजाला सारी सड़ जाएगा, काला हो जाएगा।
When we need rainwater, it doesn't rain. When the crop is ready and we don't need rain, it rains. Then because of that, then the people have not much interest in the agriculture. It is a very, very risky work. Nobody, very, very few does the farming now.
नुकसान होया, बहुत होया। नुकसान होया तो हमको परवाह नहीं है। बारिश हो गया ना, बस ये हमको चाहिए। पहले पीने को पानी तक भी हमको परेशान हो गया। अभी बोरगल में पानी आया, हमको थोड़ा आसान हो गया। पानी है तो सब कुछ है, पानी नहीं तो क्या है।
Almost like 70% of the fresh water is used for irrigation of fields. On top of that, government is giving subsidized borewell, subsidized electricity meters, which we have noticed that people are misusing the policy. Some farmers, in some cases, just take the groundwater from the field and they just load it in a tank and sell it to the tank mafia.
Underground water has been depleted so much. If we draw the underground water haphazardly like this, then in 50 years we will have a problem for drinking water also.
La. Hello. Hey, please, don't disturb me. Thank you. क्रेडिट कार्ड होना, वो होना, क्या होना, टाइम पास करने वाला है। मैं स्विच ऑफ कर दे थोड़ा।
सर आप काम करते थे ना बीपीओ में? आपके साथ भी ऐसा बात किया होगा ना लोगों ने?
होता ना, ये तो it's like coming back to you. After 12 years of working in corporate lifestyle, I realized that lifestyle is not meant for me. You should be the source of help to some other people. So I have a word with my mom, and she said, if you're not feeling comfortable, you can come back to Duguling. You can work for monasteries. So after coming back, I got selected at Ratio Monastery. And there I got an opportunity to be more aware of the importance of water.
I became abbot of this monastery 7 years ago, and one of the first things I did was send a group of our monks and Tenzin, one of our secretaries, go to Pune to learn about how to deal with water.
Near Pune, there is a village called Darewadi. Now, when I went there, we see that ample amount of land, however, very scarcity of water. And when you see real place with a real problem, the situation and the sadness in their face, it's very disheartening. That's what had happened to me. So after come back to Duguling, I realized that now in order to have a potable water, we need to either have tankers or buy RO water for drinking. So this trend is going towards like getting oxygen in a bottle. RDTS stands for Reimagining Duguling Tibetan Settlement. And this is like a community-driven program wherein we know the problem, what is facing to us, and we are trying to find a solution to make Duguling a sustainable place to live in. I'm working as RDTS Water Committee Chair, and the system which we have constructed is basically a rooftop come borewell recharge. And as you can see, this is a total catchment area for this particular project, and the rainfall will flow down from their top, wherein we channelize the water which is falling on the roof directly to the borewell, and it reaches the groundwater. If you calculate in a good monsoon, we could conserve as much as 25 lakh liters plus. This is the borewell recharge we are working at the moment. We are particularly thinking about two main parameters, which is quality and quantity. So this is the recharge pit, which comprises of many filtration layer system. We have a casing pipe which is perforated, and the net nylon mesh is in place in order to avoid unwanted particles cannot enter inside. We are using all the natural element which reduce salinity of water to make potable water for drinking. It's very easy to construct a small recharge pit compared to drilling another bore well. It's cost effective, at the same time it's a one-time investment. In Buddhism, we have many offerings. Offering incense, lighting a lamp, offering flowers. Offering water is one of the purest form of offering. When you offer water, you have this pure devotion with no strings attached.
Anybody can, even an animal can find his own food and life. If he lives only for himself, that doesn't make any sense to me. What we have to teach is work for the larger community, for the society.
Particularly in this country, it's very interesting that we worship River Ganga, we worship River Yamuna, we worship River Saraswati. But normally it appears like there is no real awareness of the water.
I think that when you get to the very local level, a farmer is someone who depends on his land and who is very conservative. He can't take chances, so he sticks to what he knows, and what he knows may be quite limited. We had the luxury of going all the way to Pune, which may not be far for us, but would be very far for a local farmer, to spend a few days and learn. The farmer doesn't have those luxuries. The farmer needs the help of other people who have learnt these things and who help him implement them to suit his particular needs.
Karnataka government has been very helpful to us by giving us a land to stay. So we cannot just merely say thank you Karnataka and then forget it. When we have a problem of water scarcity here in Duguling, they also have it. So now when we have found some solution to mitigate those threats, it's our responsibility to share the good practices that comes along with your dedication and your compassion toward not only human life but also all the beings. It's my inner passion deep down to assist who could not and make aware who are not aware of. So we are marching towards it. We are trying to collaborate with all the local panchayat leaders so that they can also be a part of this movement. हमारा solution जो है एक गांव में एक बार दिखाएगा तो गांव वालों को भी मालूम होता है ना।
आजू बाजू मालूम देगा तो देख के भी करने का अच्छा होता है।
मेन क्या है बना के छोड़ना नहीं, बना के वो लोगों को मालूम होना थोड़ा, फिर वो लोग भी दूसरा आदमी को भी बोलना। सब क्योंकि पानी बचाने के लिए एक आदमी और एसोसिएशन काम कुछ नहीं कर सकता है, सब आदमी मिलके काम करना पड़ता है ना। When you walk first mile, you might not get much support, but if your dedication is true, people started noticing you. I understand water conservation is a small thing, but it has a lot of major implication. We implemented this project, the same model, in another bore well, which was dried up 2 to 3 years back. But due to how the project which we constructed, now it's rejuvenated and it's yielding water. One Tibetan people can contribute towards our not only ourselves, but also in a larger national GDP and national cause, which also fulfilling the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, which India can be proud of.
If one person does it, if one village does it, it doesn't make that much sense. But if all of us does the same thing, then it is very, very powerful.
हमारे जीवन में तो बहुत प्रमुख चीज होते हैं, पानी और हवा। इसलिए आज हमारा ये सेव वाटर, कंजर्व वाटर, पानी बचाओ, पानी का संरक्षण करो।
पानी कहाँ से संभालना है? पानी वैसे बारिश का पानी वही संभालना हम लोग।
ನಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್. But the implementing part always lies with the people, and we should not expect everything that government should only do it. It's not possible. You individually have to take an initiative to save water, conserve water.
There's a Sufi saying, the unwise man tries to change others. The medium wise man tries to change his environment. The wise man tries to change himself. And I think that the most effective way in which we can be of some sort of benefit or influence is by what we do ourselves.